Antonia Cologne, CBT Session Number 2. Before we begin this session, let us go over Antonia's background. Antonia Cologne's background includes one of Hispanic origin. Growing up in Puerto Rico, her traditions, values, and culture affect her heavily. At the age of 12, her and her family immigrated to the United States, staking their claim in Longview, Texas. Although she had just arrived to America, Antonia has been bilingual since second grade. Her family, on the other hand, struggles with learning English and, while understanding greetings and general modes of speech, cannot effectively communicate. Early into her years of arriving to America, alienation became an issue. However, this was furthered by the early death of her father. While on a work trip offshore, an accident happened at the rig involving her father and three other workers. At the age of 22, 8 years since the incident, Antonia still struggles with the loss of her father, coupled with the cultural differences in America and her mother's struggle keeping the house together. Now on to the therapy session.
Hi, it's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it sure has. You canceled last session. Everything going okay in your life?
Yeah, just bad day, I guess. I couldn't bear to leave my room. My thoughts were just disabling me.
I'm so sorry to hear about that. Do you mind telling me what you were thinking in that moment? Of course, we can get on with what we were talking about the last session, but I just want to probe your brain for a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I felt as if that day I was telling myself things like, I'm a failure. I had already woken up late this morning after pressing snooze several times on my alarm, so I'm kind of upset at myself for that.
I see. You told yourself you were a failure? What in that moment reinforced you to feel that way? Was it just sleeping in, or did you have something else in your mind from prior days? I know it's been 2 weeks since we've last met.
Well, definitely that too, but the night before I just had a fight with my mom. Nothing physical, just verbal.
Do you mind telling me more about that?
Yeah, I'll try. We were eating dinner at the table as usual. I told her I didn't feel like going to therapy tomorrow. She asked me why, and I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
She got mad at me and told me things that therapy was the best for what I was going through right now. And I rebutted by saying something about Dad. I couldn't remember what. I just felt like she hates me now. I feel like I'm her burdensome birth. She still has some moments of grief for my father, but I just feel as if I'm the nail in the coffin for her depression.
You tell yourself you're a burden. Where do these thoughts stem from?
Well, I still don't have a driver's license, so it's up to my mom to take me places. So that, coupled with her job and our financial situation, I just feel as if I'm dragging her down.
Has she told you that herself?
No, not that I know of. But I know she believes it though.
What evidence do you have to prove that?
I guess I don't have concrete evidence, but I can just see it in the way she looks at me when I ask her to take me places. Or when she has to hear me about losing my job, or when I complain about the Wi-Fi being slow.
But still no explicit reinforcement for that though?
No, like I said, I just know she does.
Yeah, so I remember last session you talking about your newly found anxiety. Of course, I know your background with moving here to America, but I wanted to hone in on your beliefs right now. When you're around your mother or you're with others in public, what do you feel as if they hear or others hear about you? What goes on in your thoughts?
I just feel like I'm judged for the way I am. When I'm in public with my mother, I always look for ways out for privacy, like bathrooms or hallways.
Out of fear of what?
Not necessarily fear, I think, just ways to get away from people. Since my last breakdown, I just worry that people think of me weirdly, like I'm an outcast or that I don't fit in or belong here. I guess there's also a sense of survivor's guilt. Like when my father passed, I can't help but lately I feel like it should have been me. My parents' lives would have been so much better if it was me taken away instead of him.
Firstly, I want to congratulate you for opening up about those things with me. I knew you said you had trouble with one-on-one speaking with people, so I thank you for being vulnerable with me. I definitely do want to explore that thought of yours, though. When did this belief start to manifest in your thoughts?
It's definitely new. I mean, since his passing, I know the burden of acceptance has weighed both heavily on my mother and I's minds. But after losing my job and wanting to stay out of public, it has worsened.
Did the staying out of public arise from your breakdown at work, or do you think that's prevalent before?
I mean, considering I immigrated here, there's always been a sense of shame and lostness. Is that how you say it?
Isolation.
Yes. But it was definitely furthered by that, yes.
Okay, I understand. Well, let me try something with you for a moment. I want you to internalize your thoughts, your beliefs, and I want you to tell them to me, and I'll give you the contrary, real thoughts to that.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you get started, and I want you to say any belief about you that you feel is true, and I'll rebut with a different view.
Okay, I'm a burden onto my mother and onto others. If my family in Puerto Rico were to see how I feel towards my mom, they would disown me, spit on me for getting angry at her.
But my family isn't here. I understand my cultural values about family, but my situation is unique, and I'm now in America as opposed to Puerto Rico. I can get upset with my mother sometimes, but this is normal. I do feel ashamed for losing my job, but I'm still recuperating from that and from the loss of my father. I am deserving of attention and love from others.
And that definitely helps. I do need to be a little bit more lenient on how I think of myself.
Okay, that ends our session today, but let's definitely pick up where we left off next time, okay? All right, it was good seeing you.
That was the end of the CBT session for today. Now let's move on to the video questions. Question number 1. What theory was the basis for your counseling roleplay? The theory I chose was CBT. The reasoning for this was due to her diverse background and her irrational thoughts about herself. As stated on page 298 of the text, cognitive behavior therapy tends to be culturally sensitive because it uses the individual's belief system, or worldview, as part of the method for exploration. Question number 2. What specific techniques and theoretical concepts did you utilize in your counseling roleplay? As part of CBT, one of the ways I tried to help Antonia was through a form of stress inoculation training, giving her coping skills to combat her anxiety in different situations. One of these ways was to battle her cognitive beliefs about herself. Hailing from Puerto Rico, and from recently losing her job, Antonia has felt worthless in light of who her family wants her to be. However, reassuring her that she is now in America, now independent, and now free more than ever to make choices on her own terms is something she has to learn and cope with to ease her alienation. Moreover, this testing of validity coincides with collaborative empiricism as well, helping the client to reevaluate faulty beliefs. Question number 3. What was the overall experience like for you emotionally and technically? Emotionally, it was very reinforcing. I love caring for others, being an open ear and heart for people to voice their transgressions, complaints, and thoughts. Role-playing as a therapist made me feel more confident in my chosen major, as I feel now more than ever that I am excited to be part of such a career field that psychology offers. Moreover, technically I do feel like I have familiarized myself with the concepts of CBT, furthered by the case of stand sessions as well. Not only can these help me in my career path, but active listening, reevaluating others' thoughts, and providing realistic support can also help me in everyday relationships as well.